This is Landstalker, released on the Genesis in 1993. The subtitle of the game is Treasure of King Null. It's an RPG where you play as a young treasure hunter by the name of Nigel. He's an elf, and according to the unflattering image of him on the box, he enjoys exploring the countryside in skin-tight clothing. Landstalker provides an outstanding adventure for those who want to play it. Lots of items to find, numerous dungeons to crawl, tons of secrets, and an infinite number of enemies to slay. All the elements of a great RPG. The game forgoes the typical experience point system for a system that relies mostly on gathering money to pay for items. For those of you who dislike excessive talking in RPGs, you're in luck, because Landstalker doesn't contain long-winded dialogue. Most conversations only last a few seconds. The graphics in Landstalker are about average for a Genesis game. Some of the terrain does look ugly, and it lacks some common sense realism in the design, like the ability to walk on top of shrubs. A few questionable choices were made in regards to the sound effects. When injured, Nigel sounds like a baby making a gurgling noise. And the jumping sound is recycled from another game. When entering the next room, it sounds like Nigel is going upstairs, even when there are no stairs. The music of the game is about average, with a few uplifting tunes and a few downers as well. What stands out most about Landstalker is how nerve-wracking it is to play sometimes. Some of it stems from the fact that the whole game is played in an isometric view. All the movement you do is done by pressing diagonally on the control pad. Switching back and forth between these directions doesn't happen smoothly. Although some Genesis controllers are better suited than others, the bottom line is that it takes a toll on your hand, and it's hard to position Nigel exactly where you need him to be. What makes matters worse is that the Landstalker programmers decided to fill the game with areas that require precision jumping. Distances are hard to judge, so landing where you need to land is artificially difficult. The Landstalker manual admits this, saying, "Because of the new angle and the three-dimensional effects, it has become much harder to gauge where to jump." To add insult to injury, missing jumps late in the game can cause you to fall down a floor, making you have to reclimb stairs and refight enemies. Another aspect of Landstalker that's frustrating is how difficult it is to figure out what to do. The game surrounds you with dead ends where you need to trigger something to pass. If you get hung up on just one of these things, you could waste hours trying to find a solution. Clues in the game can be hard to come by. Villagers reveal very little useful information, and your item inventory doesn't have any descriptions on what your items do. I enjoy challenging mysteries as much as the next guy, but I think there could be such a thing as being too cryptic in a video game. If you think you want to try Landstalker, it is available off of Nintendo's Virtual Console. And if you can read Japanese, you can play the sequel released on the Super Famicom, Lady Stalker. So how do I sum up this game? I'd say it has all the addictive elements that make up a good RPG. But the moments of isometric hell cannot be ignored. If you've run out of RPGs to play from the 16-bit era, I say give it a try. You'll either love it or hate it. Hope you enjoyed the review. See you next time.